Room 417 stayed locked for 7 years. No guests, no cleaning, no checkout record. Just a number on a door, and a quiet that made even the hotel staff lower their voices when they passed it. The hotel itself was not abandoned. It was busy, profitable, normal. Tourists dragged suitcases through the lobby. Children pressed their faces to the glass elevators. Business travelers checked out before sunrise. Life moved forward. Except on the 4th floor. 7 years earlier, on a rainy night just before midnight, a man walked through the revolving doors and approached the front desk. The clerk noticed him immediately, not because he stood out, but because he didn't. He was average in every way: height, build, hair, clothes. The kind of person you could stare at and still fail to describe later. He placed a thick envelope of cash on the counter. "I'd like a room," he said calmly. The clerk asked for ID. The man smiled politely. "I'd prefer not to," he replied. Normally, that would have ended the conversation, but the cash was real, and there was something about his voice, steady, controlled, that made refusal feel unnecessary. He requested 3 things: a room far from elevators and stairs, no housekeeping, and no calls, no visitors, ever. The clerk hesitated, then assigned him room 417. The man nodded, took the key, and walked toward the elevator. He never looked back. That was the last time anyone saw him in the lobby. For the first few days, nothing seemed unusual. Every morning, a room service tray was left outside room 417. Every night, it was empty. No plates broken, no mess, no notes. Just silence. Housekeeping was instructed not to enter, but eventually curiosity won. A young maid knocked gently one afternoon. No answer. She announced herself. Still nothing. As she turned away, her hand still on the cart, she felt it. Breathing. On the other side of the door. Slow. Measured. Not panicked. Not asleep. Listening. She didn't scream. She didn't knock again. She quietly rolled her cart back to the elevator and never returned to that floor. At first, management assumed the guest was simply reclusive. Hotels see all types. But after several weeks, the manager noticed something strange in the system. Room 417 was using electricity. Not much, but consistently. Lights, power. Someone was inside. Security reviewed footage. No one entered, no one exited, not once. Yet every night between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m., electricity usage spiked. Always within the same window. Always peaking at exactly 3:17 a.m. The staff began sharing stories. A bellhop claimed he once heard a chair scrape across the floor behind the door. A night auditor swore the hallway camera glitched every time it passed room 417. A security guard said his radio lost signal only in that corridor. None of it was provable, but patterns don't need proof to be felt. On the 3rd night after the guest checked in, the alarm went off. Not the entire building, just the 4th floor. Guests poured into the hallway in confusion. Firefighters arrived quickly. They searched every room. No smoke, no fire, no heat. Except room 417. The door was warm. Not hot enough to burn, just warm, like someone had been standing behind it for a long time. The firefighters asked to open it. The manager refused.
He couldn't explain why. He just knew he couldn't. The alarm was labeled a malfunction, and life continued. Months passed. The guest never came to the front desk, never requested supplies, never complained. Room service trays stopped appearing, yet the room remained occupied. Electricity logs confirmed it. Water usage appeared sporadically. Someone was still there, or something was simulating presence perfectly. The manager considered a welfare check, but every time he reached for the phone, something stopped him. A quiet, unreasonable fear. He began taking the stairs instead of the elevator, avoiding the 4th floor altogether. When he finally retired, 7 years later, he told his replacement one thing: if you ever open that room, don't do it alone. The new owners were different. They didn't believe in instincts. They believed in liability. A room locked for 7 years was a problem. They scheduled an inspection. Security, maintenance, and police. Witnesses. The day arrived. The 4th floor hallway felt narrower. The carpet muffled footsteps too well. Even the police officers lowered their voices. The key had not been used in years. It resisted, then turned. The door opened. The smell wasn't decay, it was stillness, like air that had been waiting. The room was immaculate. The bed was made tightly. The suitcase rested by the wall, untouched. Clothes folded neatly inside. No dust disturbed. Except a single wooden chair, placed directly in front of the bathroom mirror. The rest of the room was layered in dust. The chair was not. The seat was worn smooth, as if someone had been sitting there every day for years. The digital clock on the nightstand read 3:17 a.m. It wasn't blinking. It had stopped. The bathroom mirror was covered with towels, not thrown, carefully arranged. Maintenance removed them. There was no mirror. There was a door, hidden, perfectly aligned. Behind it was a narrow room. No bed, no windows, just screens. Old security monitors. Every hallway, every stairwell, every elevator, every angle of the hotel. All running, looping, recording. Room 417 wasn't a place to hide. It was a place to watch. Police searched records. The guest's name didn't exist. No ID, no history, no missing person report. Fingerprints didn't match anyone. There was no body, no proof anyone had ever stayed there. Except the systems. Room 417 still showed occupied. The room was cleared, power disconnected, the hidden door sealed, the chair removed, the room locked again. That night, electricity usage spiked at 3:17 a.m. The next night, a guest on the 4th floor reported something odd. His TV turned on by itself, showing a hallway camera feed. Security dismissed it as a glitch. Then another guest reported hearing footsteps outside his door. No one was there. Then a cleaner found a chair moved in an empty room, facing the mirror. Security logs showed cameras rotating slightly, as if adjusted by unseen hands. The new owners ordered a full system reset. Every camera shut down. Every breaker flipped. At exactly 3:17 a.m., power returned. Only on the 4th floor. One camera feed came back first. Room 417's hallway. The chair was back, facing the door. No one knew how. The system still marked occupied.
But then, reservations spiked. People requested rooms near 417 without knowing why. They stayed only one night. They all reported the same dream, standing in a hallway, watching themselves sleep from inside a mirror. The hotel never opened room 417 again, not because of fear, but because every time someone tried, the system stopped them. To this day, at exactly 3:17 a.m., electricity flows through a room no one enters. A chair faces a mirror that is no longer there, and somewhere in the hotel, someone is still watching, breathing, waiting. And here's the part no one can explain. If room 417 was watching everyone else, who was watching room 417?